So we're back here testing AI tools and techniques for marketers, and today we're going back to the basics. We are in ChatGPT with the goal of helping you to write a bit better the next time you generate new content. So I think we're all in agreement here that the way that you just get content, if you're not doing any changes to ChatGPT, it's very generic. How many times have you seen a new answer from ChatGPT that starts, "In today's complex and ever-changing world"? That kind of stuff. So the reason why you get the very similar answers back to whatever you ask ChatGPT is because the base level of how ChatGPT writes is very neutral. It is programmed to give you as generic as an answer as back because people are expected to use it in very different ways. So if you want to use ChatGPT for writing, you need to understand that it can be configured to work better as an author and a writer. This means that you need to start defining your tone and voice. There's two different things there. So for most marketers, and me included, I used to think that tone and voice were one thing, the tone of voice of a company or a way of writing. But voice and tone and voice are two very different things in ChatGPT. And the way that you use them will have a massive difference on the kind of content you get out. So let's go through a very practical example that you can try out today in ChatGPT, and hopefully it'll help you create better content in the future and give you a better understanding of how ChatGPT actually creates content. So here we are in ChatGPT. If you have any confusion about what a voice and a tone is later on, just plug those two things into ChatGPT and ask it to help you understand the difference between them. But essentially, a voice is your character. So it is the consistent way that you write. Think about it as your persona as a writer. You can have very different personal voices, but typically it's something that is consistent to the different kinds of content you produce. So for example, you could have a professional voice that all of your output in ChatGPT is always geared in a business-friendly environment. Or you could have a casual voice where you still write about things that are professional in nature, but you try to be a bit more kind of colloquial in the way you speak. So then your tone is something that is kind of like your mood when you're writing. It depends on what you write about, and it depends on what is the context of the content you generate. You can have a very different mood in a sales email or a blog article that's informing people about a new product, or you can have a very different tone when you're writing a newsletter for your customers. So the tone can be something that is configured every time you create new content. So here we see ChatGPT generating an answer of the benefits of drinking water in an academic voice. You can see that the content that is being created is presented in quite a matter-of-fact way. What happens when we change just one word in that prompt and we say that we want to have a voice that is coaching? So here we are, we've only changed one word in the prompt. We added ignore all previous examples to really kind of make sure that it's not influenced by the things that we were checking earlier. But as soon as we change the word from academic to coaching, we can see that the writing style and the voice that ChatGPT adopts is very different. From the first sentences, all right, team, let's huddle up. This can be a substantially different way that you answer the same question just by changing the voice with one description. Now let's go through the same example but change the tone. So here we are, we went through the same exact prompt about describing the benefits of drinking water, but now we've asked it to use a humorous tone. Again, you can see that the way that ChatGPT is now generating content is vastly different from the academic voice we had earlier or the coaching voice. So the tone can also define vastly how you change the content you're generating. So let's go through a different tone this time. Let's go for a serious one and see how it changes. So once again, we only changed one thing in this prompt. We asked ChatGPT to describe the benefits of drinking water in a serious tone. And again, the content that's generated is vastly different from the earlier example where we had a humorous tone. So to sum up, your voice and your tone can be defined in ChatGPT. It's easy to change and kind of alternate between different kinds of tone, but I would advise you to try to keep a consistent voice if you're, for example, writing for your company blog. If you want to get more inspiration of where and how you get to a voice and a tone that writes in a specific way, you can also give ChatGPT some input and it will analyze the voice and tone of any content that you provide it. So let's go through one of these examples. So let's take an example of part of a blog that I've written recently, and let's go back to ChatGPT and ask it to analyze the voice and the tone of this small piece of writing. So we've now given a small couple paragraphs of text, and ChatGPT is now going through and analyzing what makes the voice and the tone of this piece of writing that we just copy pasted into ChatGPT different. So you can go to analyze your own writing style to get the voice and tone that ChatGPT thinks you're writing in. Or if you want to get more inspiration, you can go to other company websites and try to get an understanding of what is the voice and tone that they use. If you want to see a few B2B examples, I've written a blog article where I go through some pretty high-level top examples of different kinds of company blogs. So if you go through those examples, you'll get an understanding of what makes their voice and tone different from each other. Well, this was a really basic technique example. I hope it was useful because this is something basically everyone can try out. There's no license fees to just check out what is the voice and tone that you can use in prompts in ChatGPT. If you have anything else you want tips on to do with the use of ChatGPT, let me know. I'm very happy to take this as a test for myself. And if there's any other tools there, I'm going through all kinds of different tools and techniques that marketers could find useful. So happy to do more deep dives for you guys. Hope you enjoyed it. See you later.